Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Black Talent TV's Be in the Talk. And of course, you guys know who I am. I'm Simone Jackson, your hostess with the mostest, here to bring you guys another great episode of Be in the Talk. As you guys all know, Be in the Talk is a great podcast where we have engaging conversation with influential guests in the entertainment industry. I'm really excited about our next guest. I'm really excited to introduce our next guest for today. He is an award-winning filmmaker. He directed the critically award-winning film Boston to Philly. It's been seen at every festival everywhere. So we're really excited to have him on here. He's definitely an exciting filmmaker who's definitely making his mark in the entertainment industry. So we definitely had to have him down because this man is doing some great things in the movie industry. So please, everyone, welcome Mr. Ralph Celestin. Hi, Ralph. Did I say your last name right?
No, you said it perfectly. Thank you so much. Very blessed to be here.
Perfect. We're really glad to have you on here. Like I said, we're really excited. I managed to peep out your Boston to Philly film, and I was able to I just loved it. So I'm really glad to have you down here. Like I said, your work is something that we've been following for a while. You're doing really great things in industry. So having someone like you sit down with us is great.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, as you know, it's been a crazy ride. It's been so many different obstacles and tribulations that we've been able to overcome, and now with the movie dropping less than 6 days, it's intense. It's lots going on. So yeah, it's been crazy.
Oh, I bet. But look, Mr. Ruff, let's start off with our first question. I wanted to know, what made you decide you wanted to become a filmmaker?
That's a good question. Honestly, it's kind of been something that I just feel as though has been a part of my fabric since the very beginning of myself, from adolescence to where I am now. Being a poet is kind of how everything got started. And then from there, I just kind of gradually progressed in my path of being an artist to writing and then creating short films and feature-length films. So it was just something that just gradually became just through normal growth.
Wow, yeah, absolutely. I can definitely see, why that's a path for you, because being a poet, being poetic, and kind of being a filmmaker, that's a beautiful combination. So I can definitely see, that why you chose that for yourself. So as a filmmaker, there's so many different stories to be told. What stories are you interested in showing?
So for me, every single story that I put out there, every type of content, I need to have a very personal element to who I am as a person and what I feel as though I've gone through. So, and it's really important, especially as a Black filmmaker, that we push a narrative that is just simply one of our own and is separate and different from everything else people may think is the Black experience.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to telling a story, it needs to be something that involves just reality, and not just the reality of guns, violence, drugs, but the reality of this overcoming adversity, not necessarily dealing with violence in terms of bodily harm, but emotional harm, mental distress.
Right.
Like, for example, my character Rome, aka Boston in the film, he goes through every different stage of depression throughout the entire story arc as he loses his family right before he moves to Philadelphia. So stuff like that's just like different and unique compared to what most Black films have been about. That's my niche.
And I love that. And I love that you were, that you took on mental health, because again, like you just said, that is something kind of rarely talked about, and that's something really, done by Black filmmakers. I'm glad you took on that, because that is that is something that is affecting Black people, but that's not as rarely, as much talked about. So I'm really, I appreciate you taking on that in your film, and I'm glad that
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you want to tell those types of stories, because I definitely get it. There's definitely more narratives to us than just the violence, the drugs, everything. There's more layers to us. So I definitely am glad you are trying to bring out so many of those complex layers that are not shown.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, do you remember, as a kid watching certain movies that helped inspire you to become a filmmaker? So, what films do you remember watching that that just you can go, you know what, watching this film, this is exactly why I want to become a filmmaker. Do you remember watching?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I gotta give props to my uncle. As a young bull, I used to sneak into his stats of VHS cassettes, and he was a lot older than me. So when he was in high school, I was still in elementary school. So he was a little bit older, always a woke brother. So he had all these different types of films that kind of put the right agenda in my head. So one film in particular that I remember watching, and to this day is one of my top 5 movies of all time, is a film called Rosewood. Are you familiar with it?
I'm actually not. Please go on.
Okay, so I might put you and your audience on right now. Rosewood it's a film that was directed by John Singleton, which is one of my favorite directors, and it is a horrifying tale of a striving Black community that coexisted with a white community, and because of a lie that was fabricated from a woman in terms of sexual violence and assault that was done onto her, the entire village and community ended up being burned down. And it was one of the worst massacres to ever occur in American soil. And the film is called Rosewood.
Mm-hmm.
And Don Cheadle, a very young Don Cheadle, actually also, as well as Ving Rhames. So it moved me in a lot of different ways. And as someone that probably was too young to watch that film, it really helped me understand the power and the emotional draw a film can truly have on someone. And that in itself is kind of what built the foundation to my evolution to becoming a filmmaker.
Right. Well, I will definitely have to check that out, and I will definitely have to insist the Black Talent TV audience definitely check out Rosewood. It sounds like a very powerful film. But yeah, I definitely agree with the emotional connection and a powerful pull that movies can have. So I'm glad that, that's one of the reasons why you wanted to become a filmmaker. You wanted to, inspire people with those types of feelings. So yeah, I definitely get that, and I will definitely check out Rosewood.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, Ralph, who do you look up to directing-wise?
Who do I look up to director-wise? I'd have to say, obviously, besides myself, in history, I got to go with Oscar Micheaux. He is, in my opinion, he was one of the first ever Black directors. He set the precedence of what an indie filmmaker is capable of, with just pulling some strings and utilizing the resources in the community around him.
Oh, wow.
He goes back. I'm talking about the old black and white days when people used to give a nickel to go into Nickelodeons, like a nickel for a movie. He goes way back, but I look up to him because I know and to be a Black filmmaker in the era of Jim Crow, or the era of the Harlem Renaissance period leading up to it, he really was something phenomenal, something I respect.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to put him on my list. I like watching, those black and white films, so I'm gonna definitely have to check those out. I'm gonna have to check his work out. You're giving me a lot of new material and new people to check out there, Rolf. I appreciate that. So I do.
No doubt. I can give you some new heads too, though. I can give you some new guys that have been making some waves. Obviously, I love Spike Lee, so I gotta give him props. I love Spike Lee.
Definitely. He's always golden, always golden. And to kind of play off of that, because these directors have a certain way of a way of directing their films. How would you say describe your directing style? How would you say your directing style is?
With me, I like to really build off of. I like to build a visual piece in terms of having the scenery and the location be its own living and breathing character. With Boston to Philly, that's Boston, number 2 Philly. With Boston to Philly, Philadelphia is on showcasing certain areas around the city that not too many people have ever been to or even know exist. And I feel that really gives a good contrast to certain scenes in terms of what message or theme. For example, the story arc between Ant and G. That's more of a grittier story arc where we have these two guys showing from and to where they are. So what they do is rob homes, build up enough. Seen growing up.
Oh.
Dialogue would be the same if you could see the beat. Stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Absolutely.
I
And,
think that's kind of that's a unique approach that not too many directors that can do.
right. Right. I can definitely agree with you with that there, Mr. Rolfe. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, to kind of play off with, kind of continue on with your Boston and Philly, how did you feel when your critically acclaimed film was seen in different festivals worldwide?
I mean, it's something that really is difficult to explain because when I went into making the film, this was that I already knew was going to take a lot out of me. I knew that it was going to be something that it may not get critically acclaimed. It may not get the recognition that maybe someone wants, but I knew going into it that I was just going to give it my best shot and hope for the best. So the fact that I was able to go all the way to Paris, France, and be in Houston and Atlanta and Dallas, like, I never even thought about it. So the feeling was just always shock. It was always just extreme humbleness and this shock and awe.
Oh, absolutely. I would definitely be shocked too if I had my films at the, in Paris and all of that. Oh my goodness, I wouldn't even know what to even say if I even had to present one of my films in Paris. So, but yeah, definitely that humbleness it's got to be great. But I'm glad that your film has success, and I'm glad that people are around the world are really starting to gravitate to your films and really starting to see who you are. So that I think that is awesome. So for
Yeah.
with that though, what message do you hope people will take away when watching your films?
There's a lot of different themes and messages that I put out there with this film. I'd have to say that the one I saw, make sure no one kind of skips over, is just the idea of growth and fulfilling a journey. The idea of this evolving from who you are at the beginning of something, facing adversity or something horrible happening to you, and growing and evolving from that. Perseverance is something that a lot of people experience and falter in. They don't always grow. They don't always make it out from from something bad happening to them and then continuing the momentum. And that's something that every single character in the film goes through. And I want that to be something that everyone tries to emulate best they can.
Mhm. Absolutely. I agree to that. And I really hope, everyone, especially the Black Talent TV audience, everyone who's discovering you, I really hope that that's exactly what they take away. Because that's exactly kind of, the message I got. So hopefully they definitely, Black Talent TV audience, everyone that's watching, definitely, I hope you take away that message from watching Ralph's films, because they are pretty powerful.
Thank you.
Yeah, and speaking of films, Mr. Ralph, I know if you can't dish too much, but what future projects are you involved with that you can just give a little dish about?
Really, that I sometimes forget that there's other things I really started doing. Um, there's another film that I'm actually just wrapping up next month, and that's called Cella's Kitchen. That's Sellas, Cella's Kitchen, and that is a Haitian American film, another coming of age drama, so very personal to me. Still following that theme of growth, full-scale personal journey, and that's going to be coming out in the festival circuit probably by the end of the summer. We're going to start making our premieres.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear. Can't wait to see that. So that's definitely going to be pretty awesome. Yeah, absolutely. It is called Silent Kitchen, correct?
Celestin Kitchen. So it's Sellas, Celestin Kitchen.
Ooh. So definitely, yeah, we'll definitely have to keep an eye out on that. That sounds like it'd be really good. We got just a few more questions there from you, Mr. Wolf, Mr. Ralph. Who would you like to work with actor-wise?
Ooh. I've been asked this question, and I can give you the quintessential answer. The people that everyone assumes, the Will Smith, Leonardo DiCaprio's. I like the idea of working with no-name actors, giving them an amazing script, amazing story, and then making the next name. So when I think of the ideal actor, I apologize for the noise.
Oh, you're good.
But yeah, when I think of an ideal actor, I really just think about someone that's not established yet, but has great potential, work ethic, and will be established after.
Oh my goodness, I love that. I do, because a lot of no-name actors, they really don't, get their chance. They don't get the chance to shine. And there's so many gifted and talented actors and actresses out there. And I feel like they definitely deserve a platform to show their work. But, if they don't have a resume, like you said, as a Will Smith or Leonardo DiCaprio, so I really do like the fact that you like to cast, no-name actors and make them the stars, because I think I honestly love that, because, it just takes one film for, both a director and actor to be, as for you, with Boston to Philly, to be seen worldwide and people, recognizing their work. So I definitely admire you for doing that there, Ralph. Definitely.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And one of the final questions for you, where can the Black Talent TV audience follow your work?
Yeah, so right now, all roads lead to Boston2 Philly. We're going to be able to, by the time this episode comes out, you guys will be able to watch it on Amazon Prime. And by the end of June, we'll be on iTunes, Google Play, and Fandango. So just type in Boston2 Philly, and you'll be able to find all the information on the movie and on myself. If you want to follow my journey into the release of the film and my next project, I'm on Instagram. It's Ralph A. World. Very easy to remember, just Ralph A. World. And you get a window into my world, into what I'm doing, into my aspirations, my goals. I'm pretty active, and that's really all the information that I can put out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope Black Talent TV, definitely check Ralph Allen's Instagram. It's like you said, it's RA World, definitely check out his world. Definitely check out, Boston to Philly when it comes out, when it drops out, in 6 days. But yeah, definitely check this man out and his work. It is quite inspiring, and like I said, we got to admire him, wanting to cast no-name actors, wanting to turn them into stars. That's a very refreshing, attitude from a really great, filmmaker, like yourself there. And so, yeah, we definitely, appreciate you, because I know you're, pretty busy, but we do appreciate you, coming down and sitting with me and talking with me.
Thank you. And I love the platform you guys have created for guys like me and everyone else out there, just to be able to share their story and just push the momentum forward. So thank you for your creation and letting me be a part of it.
Oh, absolutely. That's exactly what Black Talent TV is here for. We are here to give, a platform to those who are talented but don't have that platform. So we are here to showcase great work, great, people. And like I said, we are really great. You came down and spoke with us. I know the Black Talent TV audience will not only definitely check out your films, but will definitely take, your words to heart and everything. And yeah, make sure you guys, again, check out him on Instagram. Make sure you check out his film, Boston to Philly. Sure you check out his future films that are coming out here soon, and just make sure you just check out Ralph in general, because again, he's a great filmmaker who's making great films, and he's just wanting to change the narrative of the Black story, and he really is doing that in one great film at a time. So we really appreciate that, Ralph.
No doubt. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Everyone, again, this has been Being a Talk. My name is Simone Jackson. Remember, if you guys like to advertise or if you'd like to come down and sit with us and chat, because I like to talk, come down and interview with us, then make sure you guys check us out at info@blacktalentv.com. We're always, here to, drop an email, so make sure you guys always do that. We always look forward to that. And until another great episode of Being a Talk, Ralph, Black Talent TV audience, I will see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.